The actual proposal was submitted in March of 2002, and the approval was in the second or third week of October of 2002. Now, earlier aspects of this planning had taken place in 1998, 99, 2000. And it's good to reflect on history, what was happening in the world at that time. Well, there was this explosion, and it really was unlike anything people had ever seen before, probably in the history of civilization, with the rapid spread of being able to use web pages. And it really was transforming many aspects of the world. And at that time, it just didn't exist before. I mean, now it's so second nature, it's almost impossible to conceive of a world prior to the web. So when they did the early planning of SMU in 98, 99, it was clear that something important was there. Clearly, we have a school about business and management, and everybody in organizations are talking about, and how are we going to get this on the web? And how is the internet going to be incorporated into how we work? And all these new mail services that were impacting what people would do at home. So I think there was just a broad sense that we needed something about Infocom. Singapore had taken a very proactive and aggressive stance about the use of computerization in the civil service. That goes back to the early 1980s. So this was a country that had prided itself by aggressively positioning in its ability to make use of computerization in both the public sector, the private sector, to the extent possible, even in educational programs, because they knew business wanted this manpower. So when I came back, I had gotten back in touch with Ron Frank just to see what was up, knowing that they had this pending proposal. And he notified me that it was either just about to be approved or will be approved or was approved. But it was right at that time, basically. As I had mentioned, it indeed was approved about the second or third week of October. And now they're approved. And they're supposed to start a new cohort less than 12 months away from scratch, in a situation where they really have no pre-existing curriculum and really nobody with real experience in that area either. So Ron was faced with an interesting situation. You know, they quickly had spun off an accounting school a year after SMU started. But of course, the core faculty of SMU, to a large extent, had come from NTU School of Accounting. So that's a little different because you have them all sitting there in the first place. And I think with economics as well, they had had people trained in that area. So Ron had the mandate of launching this new school. I was seriously thinking about transitioning back to a university-like setting after what had been an interesting hiatus. I had left Carnegie Mellon in September 1989. And here we were in the end of 2002. I think that was about 13 years or so that I had been working in industry in various capacities as a practitioner of using or designing information systems in large-scale automated types of environments. So it just seemed like an interesting match. And the fact that at that time there was really no formal relationship with Carnegie Mellon, and not even any relationship of much depth to speak of, other than two Carnegie Mellon faculty had done a bit of visiting and offered a few opinions on some possibilities for planning the curriculum. But that was really no more special than the types of conversations one would have with a large number of people at that stage of a planning process. But the fact that there was some involvement with CMU that way, and of course I was a prior CMU faculty member and had done my PhD there, it seemed just like an interesting set of things were aligning.